Hey, peace and blessings, everybody, and happy Wednesday to you. Have you ever been in an experience where you have been victimized or you have been the subject of some type of offense, where you have been wronged, we would say unjustly, of course, right? Where you have been offended, where you have been the subject of some type of transgression, some type of trespass. An individual has exceeded boundaries, has trespassed over into your arena of thought, feelings, physical space without being invited to do so. And when that has happened, and you have sought out some type of help to navigate through that experience so that you can come out of it in a healthy way or in the best way. You know, how to get past this traumatic experience. And an individual has told you that it's not your fault. You know, it's all this individual's fault. While in one sense, I say that is accurate and true. In another sense, I want us to also always try to see the role we played in something. And the reason why I say this is because it's very important. And I'm saying particularly as a young adult and as an adult. Because as a child, it is not that child's responsibility to protect itself. It is the adults, the community's responsibility to help navigate and guide this child, protect this child from all of the different misunderstandings and understandings and things of the world. But as an adult or a young adult, it is now your responsibility to start protecting self. And while it's still the responsibility of a community to help protect the community, right? On a personal level, it is our personal responsibility to try to understand as much of the role that we played into something, you know, so that we don't continue to make the same mistake. You see, if we don't understand the steps that we took into something, the role that we played into something, then we're not putting ourselves in a position to make wiser decisions as we move forward in life through other experiences. You see, when we approach a new experience, we approach a new life experience, a new person, a new situation or circumstance, right? And we use our past experience to help deal with this new experience in the best way. You know, a lot of times when we deal with it from what I describe as a victim's position, from a traumatized position, from a traumatic experience position, then we tend to deal with it from a defensive position. We deal with it from a position where we try to keep certain things from repeating itself, so therefore we limit certain things' ability to exercise in our realm. So we start building up walls to make it more clear to you. We start building up more boundaries to make it more clear to you what I'm saying. And while it may keep certain things from coming in, it also keeps you within from exercising without or beyond the bounds of your own boundaries. You build a wall, the wall works two ways. A fence works two ways. It keeps certain things out, but it also keeps the things in it within it, right? Until you remove a certain sector of that boundary to step out. And whenever you move that certain sector to step out of that boundary, guess what? You then have opened up an avenue and opening for things to now come within. You know? While there's good and bad with that, it is necessary, in my thinking, in my point of view, that true life, true living is being able to live freely, right? Being able to experience and explore the world without boundaries in a certain sense. You know, the boundaries that I'm speaking about is without being, man, this is a difficult discussion. Because trying to make it simple when really it's complex because there's so many different elements that need to be expounded on. Let me just go back and say this. It's very necessary that we understand the role that we play. It's very necessary that even in a situation where we have been manipulated, because sometimes people are very manipulative. And when you are in a realm of thought with an individual that you've never experienced, you can be manipulated, you can be fooled, you can be tricked. But you have to still say, let me dig inside myself and find out what did I not do that I should have or could have done that may have made that situation not what it was. A lot of time we don't take the time. One of the things we could have done, a lot of the time we don't take the time to slow down, to look at things from a more analytical position and study it before we just move forward. A lot of times we just get so caught up into the benefit. You see, you can't be fooled, manipulated, or tricked unless a person promises you something of benefit that you want, and it may seem that you kind of getting it almost for nothing. You know, that's one of the rules of con, that you have to first make a person believe that they're about to get something of value for almost nothing. Once they get caught up in that cloud, then they can be fooled or tricked. Well, that's how all manipulations work. So a lot of time we have to be able to see how we didn't slow down, how we wasn't willing to pay our way, how we wasn't willing to exchange value for value. You know, whenever we put ourselves in a position where all we want to do is receive, we don't want to give. I just want to receive all I can receive for a little bit of nothing. Why? Because I feel I deserve this. Why do I deserve it? Because of who I am, I guess. Because of the value that I have for myself. Not what I produce out, not what I do, not the value that I give to people or a person, right? And you see, whenever you're not producing value, then you don't deserve, or a person don't owe you that which you think you deserve. But whenever you do get something of perceived value for something that you didn't earn, whenever you get something that you didn't earn, whenever you get something and you did not do the work for it, you have all the logical right in the world to begin to analyze it and say, why is the person giving me this? What do you really want? What is it you're trying to get out of me? It's something that you're reaching for that I don't see. It's the reason why you're giving me something that I need of value, and you're telling me you're just giving it to me for nothing. Now let's say if a person say, well, I see that you need it. I see you don't have this, that, or another, and I want to help you. Why do you want to help me? What is it that you want in return? Let me tell you something. A person don't even do good for God just to do good for God. Everything that we do for God is because of what God promises us in return. Everything that we don't do out of fear of the punishment, we don't do out of fear of the punishment. But we don't just do just to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's always good to understand and know why a person wants to do and give you certain things. If a person say, well, I want to give it to you because I believe you deserve it and it just makes me feel good to help somebody, my reward is with God. If they don't damn near say that, then you can be guaranteed to believe and know that it's something that they want from you. And you need to know what that is, because it may be something that you cannot give in return. And although in your mind you might feel like, well, they should have said that in the beginning. They don't have no right to expect something of me that I didn't give them a right to expect. Well, you shouldn't have took something from them. You shouldn't accepted it without understanding the terms and conditions behind that which you have accepted. You have to know the role you play. Because when you don't know the role you play, guess what happened? It will repeat itself because you haven't learned the lesson. So for individuals, let me just give you an example. For individuals who got a whole bunch, who say it's so many dog ass niggas in the world. It's all these no good ass females or bitches and hoes, just the way we talk, right? All these people no good, right? The reason why they feel that way is because through all their experiences, that's what they kept running into. That's what they kept producing. And it's because it was something that they wasn't learning, the position or the role that they was playing in it, and why they kept getting the results that they kept getting. You see, you have to change the things that you put out first before you can begin to expect different results. You know, I was dating a female one time, getting something a little personal. I was dating a female one time, and she was like, but all you kept doing is pointing out what you don't like. I say, but if you be truthful and be realistic, the only things that I was always pointing out was the very same thing from the time that you and I became personal to the present day, right? I'm saying of that time. The only thing I'm pointing out is the thing that I've always pointed out. Whether it be 1, 2, or 3 things, it's the same thing. And the reason why I keep pointing it out, and the reason why you can't seem to get this other piece of me that you say you want, is because you haven't changed that. You say you understand it. You say you understand why I say this. You even say it's logical to you. However, because you stay in a position of defense and won't accept or get yourself in a position to understand fully, right? Is the reason why you won't change, and the reason why you can't get a different result out of me. We have to put ourselves in a position where we understand the role that we play. You see? And when we begin to understand the role that we play in things that happen, we can change the role that we play, which subsequently, in itself, by nature, produces different results.